This is episode 64 of my weekly diary. Now this is my first week at college back, so I hope you enjoy. It will be a bit different than usual ones, but I think I actually managed to do pretty well this time because most of the time I managed to do the video on the day, so it's a bit more descriptive and I do remember a bit more, so I hope you enjoy. Alright, part 2 because someone walked in. For once I'm doing Monday on Monday. And the reason for that is because I don't actually have anything on tomorrow. So normally I do Monday rugby and then Tuesday school, but I don't start till the 8th, so I don't have any school tomorrow, so there'd be no point. So I think these videos are going to be a bit short. Obviously also won't have school on Thursday either, so I'll have Monday training, Wednesday training, Friday short training, and then after training on Friday I also have Broncos. So that might be slightly longer, but it won't be the usual. This is what happened at rugby, and then this is what happened at school. So it won't be that for this week. It will most likely be next week, because that's when school starts up again, but obviously I don't really know what we will be doing. So today's been a bit weird, because the weather has been absolutely nuts. And I say that because it's been torrential rain, then sunny, then really sunny, spitting, sunny, and then I think we kind of finished on sunny. That's why I'm dry. So we started with gym at 10 a.m. Well, it was supposed to be 10 a.m. and then we were told it was 10:45 because there was 2 different BTEC sports groups, so we were split. And then A levels had their gym later on. Yeah, I was up and ready for 10, and then suddenly we were told, and I was like, okay. So I thought skills was going to be indoors as well, so I also had to run back and grab my boots because I only had trainers. Didn't really matter what the skills was, it wasn't like boots necessary, but I brought them anyway because obviously torrential rain, most likely going to be slippy. So for skills, most of it was IDP at the start, which basically means independent, you're doing your own thing, everything like that. But then it was moving into different passing drills, workshops, it was tackling, positional work, and then quick hands, but like firing through. So it was that in the morning. Then we had lunch, and then we had quite a while break actually. It was like 2 hours, because that's when the A-level people got back, because they couldn't do the morning and the skills. So they got back from school, they did their gym, we were waiting. We went into meeting, kind of expectations talk and everything like that. So it wasn't too long and wasn't too bad, but we didn't need our notebooks and everything like that. And then the rain started, yay! So obviously that was quite fun. Luckily it didn't last too long, but it was annoying. Anyway, we're trying to do high intensity today. So going for each drill, you have to go really fast, like make some effort. And at the start, it was so bizarre, no one could catch. I don't know if it was because it was raining or what, but everyone was like really struggling to catch at the start. But it got better and better. And then when we were doing different like shield tackles, a lot of it was focused on rucks, positional, like after you get tackled, and everything like that. So it wasn't like hard tackles, but someone tackled me while I was holding a bag. I got hit in the face, ended up having a nosebleed, which is awesome. And then we went on to obviously different things. It was weird at one point. So we had the suits, and they're like padded like all over. You feel like a Lego man in them. They are big. It's insane. We all went onto our knees, and then we had to pass around in a circle, and then someone would say go. The person who had the ball would go over, present, and then 2 people would get up quickly, 1 person would defend, and that's kind of how it would go up. So we had to go through that, and then, that was pretty much it for it. And then the final thing was like setting up off a kick, so like halfway. So it was really funny at one point because I set up in my usual position. Now, as a hooker, I'm quite close to the start, like I'm not really far back. So I was set up fully, and then obviously it came upwards and it was just past a 10-meter line. So I was like running onto it, but I was like staring at the sun. I was like, I can't actually see this ball, but I was like, I'm going to try and catch it anyway. Ran onto it, managed to catch it while running, just carried on running, went to floor. Yeah, so I was really happy with that, but that's pretty much been my day. And we did IDP at the end. No conditioning, but apparently we're doing that Wednesday. But yeah, hope you enjoy. Today is Wednesday and I am absolutely bloody soaked. And I'm surprised there's not more mud on me. But while I was doing conditioning, it was still raining, so kind of washed it off in the rain. And I just had to carry a bag full of bibs. And you may think, what's wrong with that? Friggin' soaked through. So it weighed so much. Anyway, so yesterday was my day off, kind of thing. I was supposed to, well, not really, but like everyone else went to school, and obviously I had a day off because I don't start till the 8th, and that's next week. So yeah, not too bad. Sorry, I'm trying to think, and like everything's moving a million miles at once. Okay, so yesterday I pretty much did nothing except for I went gym because I wanted to get a membership. However, because I paid up front pretty much, and for 1 month, because obviously I need to see how it is, how many times I'm actually going to use it because of everything that's going on. I couldn't get like an actual physical card, so I've got to go Tia, and then they'll open the door and let me in. So that's great. Did a little bit of, it was more of a conditioning session than anything. So I did half an hour jogging, fast walking with different like intervals pretty much. So if I was fast walking, I'd have it really like sloped, but if I was jogging, it'd be lower down, and then like vice versa with speeds and everything like that. So I was doing that for half an hour, which weren't too bad. I need to work out where I can put my phone because I was kind of had it like there, like where the little phone hold was at, but I don't really fancy running with like my head down because that's just not nice. And then afterwards I did Stairmaster for a bit because I was like, everyone says how sucky they are, I want to try it. And yes, they are really sucky. I did that for about 3 minutes and I was like, nah, I'm good, I'm gone. And that was pretty much it. So because I knew I had conditioning today, I was like, there's no point in me doing like a really hard conditioning session and then not doing it. And even though I didn't do a lot, my legs still felt it. And I think that was a Stairmaster, because even 3 minutes is evil. So after that, obviously I went back to my room, had a shower, went lunch, didn't do much else. Then today I had pretty much everything was moved around today, which was a bit annoying and confusing to know where everything was. So we had a meeting first, and that was basically telling us that everything was going to be jumbled around, and we were like, great. Then we had analysis, and we were going through a few different games from the festival. I think I was in about 3 of them. Only 1 of them was negative, so I'll take that. 2 of them was my run, so 1 of them was my try, 1 of them was my run. I think there was another one with my tackle in, and then the one which was like more of a negative was I should have been quicker to a ruck, I think it was, like latching on. Because I was there, I was next to her, but I wasn't latching on, I wasn't helping her push or anything like that. It was basically like, yeah, do that. And I was like, you know what, for 3 games, that's not bad. Quite, I'll take that. Then we had, so what, now this was where it got confusing. So we had 3 different gym groups, right? And then they were like, this one, then skills, and this one, then skills, and this one, then skills. So I thought, I've got gym, I'm in the 3rd group, I'll go skills. Wrong. for some reason he made everyone who wasn't doing gym like outside and like going through different lineups and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't new stuff, it was old stuff, so it wasn't that bad, but I was a bit late. So it was about 4 other people because no one knew it was actually on. Apparently he just called like the people he saw over, so everyone was wearing like trainers and stuff like that, so that was a bit confusing. But it's not like I missed much, it was just different line-out stuff. Then we had workshop, which there was no IDPs to, which I was quite surprised about because normally we have IDP. Workshop, which is like tacklings, passing and stuff like that, and then at this point it's like torrential rain. Like, when we came out it was torrential rain, but this was so much worse. It was like thunder and everything, so trying to pass and do line-outs. So I actually had to do some line-up throws during the starting of the session, and I was struggling a bit. I was getting it to her hands, but because how wet it is, it was kind of like trying to catch it for her, so she went up and kind of just went straight to my hands, and I was like, ugh. So I needed to put like less power on, but then it was really hard to see and everything like that. I had twice where someone told me the wrong call. Didn't matter too much. It was throwing to the same place, but it meant 2 completely different things. Like, one of them was a scrum, so that was a bit confusing. Then we had actual little games. Like, actual little games. I love little games. So you like full on tackling, full steals, full rucks, everything. I love those. So it wasn't like big groups, it was like 9 of us, maybe less. And just spread out in a small box because he wanted it to be physical. And like hitting each other. And like trying to get it out wide. At first we went a bit like 1-man team, like constantly passing it, run, passing it, run, pass, run. When in reality, we should have done a bit more movements, but it weren't too bad. We definitely got there in the end. And then we had some attack and defense stuff for about 20 minutes. So this second session of the day was only an hour because how high intensity it was. And my legs actually feel better because at the start I was like, oh my god, my legs are killing, this is gonna suck. And then I was like, this isn't too bad. And then we had conditioning, which honestly I thought would be so much worse. It really wasn't. So the first one was 75 meters and then you walk the rest. So you run to 75, walk until you get to the try line, then go back to do the 75, walk there, back. So each one counts as one. So it was 6 of those, and then you had a bit of a break, and then you partnered up with someone and you did 40 back. So you ran 40, you ran back, your partner would then go 40 back, and each person had to do 6, so 12 in total. That one sucked a lot more than the 75 one, surprisingly, but honestly it wasn't too bad. So I was quite happy, but it was very off and on with rain during that point, so you're running and it'd be pouring down, or the sun would be up and there'd be a rainbow in the background. So yeah, that's pretty much how my day went, and I'm absolutely covered in mud and trying to stay awake. So I am finally home, so I'm going to quickly do my videos for Thursday and Friday. However, I don't have a lot to say about Thursday because I practically did a lot. So Thursday I was supposed to have gym, but then we ended up, like, as an accommodation, doing like a little bit of a weird picnic thing where a lot of us just brought food over to Wanacom and we all just shared it out and started eating it. So don't really know what happened. I went shopping with Gaia, my mate and roommate now, in the morning because we had to get some food for the rest of the day and stuff like that. She also had to get like a backpack for school, which is a bit weird at the minute at school because it starts next week, but like no one seems to know what's going on, so I wish everyone luck is in my class, I guess. Then on Friday I had 2 lots of training, so obviously that was a lot harder. And if you're wondering, I have actually brushed my hair. I don't actually know what's going on with it, just won't sit still. Friday I had gym in the morning at 8:15, which was awful because I'm not a morning person. Which absolutely didn't help. That was full body muscular hypertrophy, so it's like do this and then when you're finished that go straight into this, and it does suck a bit. But they finally brought in the exercise I like, where sim giant broad jump. So you sit on a box, you stand up, you jump as high as you can, like instantly, and as soon as your feet hit the floor, you have to do a broad jump as far as you can, and I absolutely love that one for some reason. And I did manage to increase the weight in a few things. So we had push press. So this is the one where you like do a little kind of jump into it as you push it up. So I managed to do 10 on each side plus 2.5 on each side, which is more than I've ever done before. And for dumbbell bench press, I usually do 15s. I'm now on to 17.5s, so really happy about that. That's pretty much all I've got for gym. And then we had a break because I was the first gym session out of 3 groups. So then I don't think it started till like 10 something. It wasn't like a hard session at all on Friday. It was skills work, so a lot of line outs, a lot of scrums, a lot of going through it all. Like placements, stuff like that, like where to stand on a kickoff, where to stand if you're like kicking it to them, like making sure you push up, making sure you run early as soon as you see them move to make sure you can get to the other side on time, pretty much everything like that. So it wasn't a hard session, luckily, because as soon as that finished I had to go to Barnes to go to Roslyn Park because I had Broncos training as well. So I have made it clear to pretty much everyone that I cannot do Wednesday sessions because as a college student I have a curfew, and my curfew is 10 and the training finishes at 9 and it'd take me like 2 hours to get back, and then that would just break my curfew and I'd be in trouble for it. So I can't do Wednesdays, but I will be doing like every Friday until it finishes. So I got there. And obviously there's a game next week and it is an important game. It is the semi-finals, and I don't actually think the finals are going to happen because I think someone dropped out. Obviously can't tell you that like 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going at the minute. So the semi-finals, we were looking for different gameplays basically. Obviously all of these so far I've seen, they're like trying to hide where their games are so other teams can't look for it. But my coach managed to find one of the games, so we were looking through that one, trying to spot where the gaps are, who are their better players, worst players, where to run, and pretty much everything like that. Then we did a few tackle drills, and then moved on to some games, but it wasn't like tackling games, it was more or less like shoulders on kind of thing, like stopping the momentum, but not going far. And actually the lights worked this time, which was nice. My dad wasn't there because he had to go to Paris. And I actually got a few questions asking where he was because he's always with me. But yeah, the wait was quite a while between it. So I got to, I think, Waterloo at 3 something. And then I had to wait until like 6:05 before I could get the train to Barnes, so that was quite a long wait. But that was pretty much it for the session. It was also going back and forth with different calls because obviously I don't know all of them yet, so it makes it a little bit harder, but that was kind of making it easier going through all the calls and everything like that. So that was Friday.